actually. No, yeah, good point. I've been through here. I keep forgetting.
Hi, folks, and welcome back to the JLS TV. We'll just go straight into it, guys. I've got Jay here and I've got Gordy. How we doing, guys?
All good, all good. Happy to be through, but that performance was not good. Not good at
The
all.
the big thing for us, we've qualified and we've got one more group stage to go now. One more stage to go to get into the Champions League. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing right now, after watching that tonight, we'll have a wee chat and discuss about it. Gordy, what's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a relief more than anything else. It's, but the overwhelming emotion right now for me, the overwhelming feeling is relief. We came perilously close to screwing up a 3-0 lead. If it wasn't for a couple of injuries that broke up Pelson's pressure and momentum, gave us a bit of a breather, then we got the park and score. We could have been looking at a long, long night indeed. But yeah, the positive is that we're through. The positive is that we're a tie away, as you say, side from the Champions League. But based on that, there's a hell of a lot of improvement needed because that was not a good performance.
Jason.
Yeah, same really. It was a hard watch. I felt like it was just a load of nothingness. We keep trying to play this football out from the back, and the players clearly aren't comfortable doing it. But my issue with it is that I don't feel like they're putting themselves in the position to get the best out of playing out from the back. It feels like they're a bit lethargic in their play. The body position's not right, and they're just inviting pressure. As soon as we get the ball, it's like we don't know who to pass the ball to. It's like we're just making it up on the spot, and it just invites pressure. And then straight away, you're going into these games, and it's just, you're starting on a bit of a downer. There's no urgency, there's no energy, and it's the same as the weekend against Dundee. This is obviously the different team, better quality opposition, but again, we're starting games just without that real energy that we need, and then we can't seem to go through the gears and get up to the levels that are required. And it's just, if it wasn't for Jack Butler and some really good stops, I think, yeah, we could be going into extra time right now.
Yeah. One of my concerns was originally that the pre-season I didn't think was ideal. I think if you're going to completely change the system and style of play, with a lot of new players coming in, there should have been a lot more pre-season friendlies, and I mean actual friendlies, no bounce games. That team doesn't look prepared or ready to play the style of football that we're playing, and we could be getting into the Champions League playing that football. It's quite frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to argue with any of that. As much as you try and look for positives, I thought Jeff did an absolutely abysmal game yet again.
Yep.
People that listen to me going about it week on week in are probably sick of me talking about Jeffy, so I won't labour the point. I don't think his Rangers quality. I think he almost gifted a first and second goal to Pilsen. I thought he was horrific. Thought Rockwell's come on and nearly cost us a goal as well. And going forward, there's just no fluency, there's no chemistry, there's no cohesion, and I don't know where it stems from. Like, I don't know what the problem is at the moment because we're just not finding when we're playing the passes about. There's not a lot of movement. When there is movement, we're not finding them with the passes, and don't know what it is. If it's just if Martin maybe changing the team a little bit too often just now, they're not getting used to the way each other, each other's runs or the way each other play. But yeah, it's honking. That's really that's not. I'm not trying to be clever. Not get
Ma-
a bit of bush. That was
Mal,
honking, and it's been honking for a couple of weeks.
yeah, well, that's his first defeat. He was going on about we haven't been beaten, and he was classing draws as acceptable. The I would say that the one positive is with winning tonight, that should give us some more money from the obviously the payout for it to get another couple of players in because we need more players. We need a left back. We need a left back very quickly. Jeffy, I would argue, is probably a good squad player with a bit of potential in him. But in terms of playing the games like that tonight, he's not there. Mikey Moore's come into the team, Asgard and we're hoping that again man will be ready at the weekend, and by God do we need these three players to come in, because we don't look fresh. And another thing, we look really slow. How slow was Rothwell at their goal, the second goal? And Danilo had 3 chances in the last 20 minutes where he wasn't fast enough. He didn't have any pace to get to the ball.
Yeah,
I think we missed Dessers actually the last 10-15 minutes. Dessers would have been a better chance to score those goals than Danilo. Danilo's never going to make it with Rangers.
no. But what I would say about Danilo is I thought we played when Dessers went off, and that probably 10-15 minute period after Dessers went off, I thought we played our best football, and then we got the goal. But I thought Danilo was linking up quite well, 1-2 touch.
Certainly, but no finished product, no end product.
Yeah, exactly, with no end product. I mean, he scuffed his shot, which luckily Cameron was smart enough to get on the end of that. But yeah, again, no end product. But I'm hoping I'm hoping Dessers hasn't got a big injury, because I think he will be a miss, because he is our best striker other than Igamani, but we don't know what's going to happen with him this summer. But I'm hoping
it looked a sore one.
Yeah, but it's one of those. My pet hate with Dessers is that he goes down too easily. I feel like he needs to be a bit stronger. And this time, I feel like he went down clutching his face. I couldn't really see what happened. But then as he went down clutching his face, he ended up getting his studs caught on the pitch and injured his knee whilst doing it. So sometimes I just wish he would stay on his feet a bit more, and hopefully these things wouldn't happen. But I'm just hoping that if he is out for a month or two, we're going to need to bring in another striker. I think we needed to anyway. This should fast forward that, because for me, it's when we get into that final third, I'm missing that agile striker who can make those darting runs into the box, who can then free up the likes of Gasman and the Ant-Man to potentially either make the pass or run into the space that's left by the striker. But I feel like with Dessers, when you get into that final third, he doesn't make the runs quick enough or the right runs for me, and it sort of slows everything down. Gasman or the Ant-Man have to then come back and play the ball inside to one of the midfielders. And I kind of want to have someone a bit more agile who can make those runs and free up the space for the rest. And hopefully that would make things more fluid. Because at the minute, as soon as we get into that final third, I mean, it's like nothing's happening. We've got 2 electric wingers, but I feel like there's just no space for them to play at that point. But at the same time, whilst finish off here, at the same time, I was really disappointed with the Gasman tonight when he did have space to play in and time to think. I felt like he just wasn't really making the decision, or the decision was too late.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The wingers were very ineffective. Gordy, just to go back to yourself there, but we've spoken for a while about young players, young Scottish players coming in the team. Great goal from Lyle Cameron, but I was a bit disappointed that he was taken off not long after it. I don't know if there was an injury, because I got a really bad stream, so it was cutting off a lot of times. I don't know why they took him off, but scoring a goal like that in a game like that is everything a young player needs for confidence, and I would have kept him on. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't know if I've misread the situation. Are we live on Facebook just now? Because it's not actually live on Facebook. It's not supposed to be live.
It should be. I can't see it. I've not got my glasses on. Aye, we're live, aye.
All right, okay. It's maybe my phone's a bit behind then, because it's not coming through. So
I'd need to check it. I've not got my phone here. My phone's up at the computer. We're live on
that's all right.
YouTube
No,
anyway.
Right, that's fine. You can always post it to Facebook later. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're a young guy. You're playing. You're living the dream. It's been a tough game. You get a great goal. You're all excited. You're all buzzing. You're ready to hit the last 20-25 minutes of the game. Then you get taken off. It's difficult to understand the thinking behind it from the coach. It really, I can see why he took Diamandi off in a heartbeat. Obviously, Dessers was injured. That's different. But I mean, this guy's not going to be surely. He's a young guy. He's full of energy, full of zip. He's running about the place, and it's not as if we've got a big game on Saturday to rest him or to protect him. I'm sure that we could do without him on Saturday. But I mean, if Pilsen scored just after, God forbid they did score again, obviously there's going to be a couple minutes to go, but if they scored before that, then you're missing this guy's energy for the rest of the game. So I can't understand the rationale behind the thinking behind it, but then that's why I'm not in charge of Rangers, and he is.
Yeah, another thing was, guys, when they said there's 7 minutes, 7 minutes extra time getting added on, that's exactly what I thought. Are we going to have the legs for this? Because Jack Butland, in my opinion, was the man of the match. He saved us so many times.
Yeah, Yeah.
Any time the ball went into our box, we looked like a bomb scare.
Yeah, but where does
Yeah.
that come from? You know, like our fullbacks time and time again don't stop crosses coming into the box. You know, I feel like everyone's a bit lost. John Suter playing that. I mean, to be fair, John Suter is one of our best headers of the ball, but again, I still don't like him at that left centre back. I feel like he's a bit of a bomb scare, especially with the ball at his feet. I mean, one of the best save that Jack Butland made came from John Suter. My biggest pet hate as well with defenders is when they do have the ball at the feet and then they run like 10, 15 yards and then try and play a short sideways pass. As soon as you lose it, you're open, you know, and straight away they're in.
Yeah.
And it happens, you know, it happens time and time again with John Suter. He did the same thing in the last game against Panathinaikos, and he was doing it again today. And if it wasn't for Jack Butland, I can't remember if we were 1-1 at the time or 1-0 down, but if he doesn't make that save, it's a more uncomfortable night. And again, I think we definitely have Jack Butland to thank. But for me, my man of the match, I think, was Lyle Cameron. Without him, I think he's our best midfielder. I think he's the first name on the team sheet when it comes to midfielders.
The other concern and issue for me is every time the ball went in our box tonight, we won the mark our men. How many times did they have a clear opportunity to stop the ball, bring it down, or shoot? That was it's as if they were told to stand off them. I really don't understand it.
Yeah, it's a weird one. And Jay's right. You're right. We're all right looking at it. You're right, Jay. The fullbacks very rarely stop a cross getting in. Very rarely do we see like an actual challenge getting put out in their flank, the wingers. It's always if they're told to let the ball come into the box. I don't think I hate being downcast. I hate being negative. I've never actually totally been convinced about John Suter at Rangers. He's played brilliant for Scotland.
Aye.
I've seen him have a man of the match performance against Cristiano Ronaldo at Hampden not so long ago. And then, in fact, I think it was a day. I think I'm probably wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong, but I could be. 'Cause I remember thinking about it. I think it was not long before Barry Ferguson's first game in charge against Kilmarnock, and I'm sure John Suter marked Cristiano Ronaldo off the park, and he was man of the match at Hampden. And then 4 days later, he's bullied off the ball by one of the worst strikers in Scotland. And I just something seems to happen to these players when they're in a Rangers top when they seem to have zero confidence. I think it's nerves, it's anxiousness, and
I think well,
I think that's what causes a lot of it.
probably aye. I would say Suter's more of a shot stopper. That's no his style of defending that he's been asked to do. He looks really uncomfortable with it. He doesn't look comfortable playing the passes. And Butland as well. Butland was more comfortable getting the ball and hoofing it right up the park. And I was glad he was doing that because I was worried that these passes were going to go to their wingers, who I thought the boy was Prince, something his name was. I thought he was going to be a wee bit more deadly. They were unlucky tonight. They obviously seen that there was a chance, but that's what we're talking about here is this defence. They seem to get very easily shaken, and when they're shaken, they can't come back out of it. There's no leaders in it. I don't see any leadership in that defence.
Yeah, I don't think it's just the defense. I think it's the whole team. You know, that's what we were missing at the weekend against Dundee. We're missing it tonight again. You know, people to grab the game by the scruff of the neck when we are underperforming for the first 10 minutes to gather everyone, regroup everyone, and to get us going again. But if you look at our defence, I mean, what we've got, Jeff Day at left back, there's massive question marks over him. John Suter playing out of position at left centre back. Obviously, we've got a new player in Giga on the right centre back, and then again Tav, who we've said for a while now that just, you know, he needs to be replaced. So the defence just isn't what it needs to be. And I think it's definitely a priority for us to fix before the end of the transfer window, which we are doing. Obviously, we're looking at that guy from Betis to bring him in, but we have got to get a left back as well because, I mean, Jeff D, sometimes I watch him out, I think there is definitely a player in there. But then when you look at his positioning for that first goal, he's just
Terrible.
in no man's land. You know, we can't go the season with that. That's for sure.
Lastly,
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to touch on the substitutes. He obviously, the bench wasn't the greatest of benches anyway, but when I seen Dowell coming on, I thought to myself, this guy's untouchable. And then Cortez came on later on, and Cortez is all over the place. There's a lot of dead wood at the club now that we badly need to get rid of some of these players quickly.
yeah, but you look at these players. I mean, I touched upon it about the confidence, the anxiousness. Danilo, Dow, Cortez. These are guys that have not played a lot of games for Rangers. They've been either injured or shipped out on loan. they're getting thrown in at the deep end in the first team. They're getting picked every week. In the case of Dull, especially, and they deal at the start of the season, they don't have confidence, and they're like rabbits caught in the headlights right now. And I've got sympathy for them. But there, if you look again today, I think that's now us now played 6 competitive games this season, and and combined, one of our strikers has scored 1 goal. If you take all our strikers and it's a penalty, not one striker has scored a goal for open play this season after 4 European games and 2 league games. That for me, that I've always had concerns about the striker force, but if you look back at all our games, 6 games now, one striker scoring 1 goal for a penalty. It's scary.
Yeah. And if Iggy no back by the weekend, I'd have to have serious questions about why he's not ready. I really don't understand what's taking so long.
I think if he's not back by the weekend, for me, I think there's something else going on. I think there's probably bids coming in, and we're getting him ready to be sold. And he's probably, and his agent's probably saying to him, "You can't play again because if you get an injury, then you miss out on your big move." Especially against a game like Aloha, it's just a game like that. We don't need him to play in order to win that game. So I think his agent will be like, "Yeah, sit this one out." But we definitely need to strengthen in the striking position, and it has to be done before the end of this window because, like you say, 1 goal and 6 from our strikers, and that's from a penalty.
Not good enough.
It's not good enough.
How did the other game finish? It was 2-0. Did that finish 2-0?
It was 2-1.
Through. I
think. Are they through now? Right?
No, young Lewis has just sent a wee chat, a wee message to us. I'm going to check the score for us now. It was 2-1, Sal's. So it's 2 each now. So Bruges look through. It's just injury time now. So it does look like Bruges in the next round, if they hold on, it's 2 each now. So they're 3-2 up in the aggregate with a couple of minutes injury time to go. So it looks like Bruges. Yeah,
right,
and
okay.
Bruges are a step up. Yeah, Bruges are a step up, a massive step up in quality. We've already played them. If we defend, like we've defended against Panathinaikos and Pilsen, who God only knows how they did. Panathinaikos, we watched it in the pub side, you and me, and we looked at each other after every attack. I think we said to ourselves, how are they not throwing up? Or whatever, because
we've carried a bit of luck so far in Europe. Let's hope we can carry it against Bruges as well. But let's not kid ourselves on. If we can get by them and you get into the actual Champions League, you have to be much better. And I mean much better. Because those opportunities that we're giving away, good teams they're clinical against us.
Oh, I'm dreading. If we draw someone like PSG in the Champions League, like I think it could be double figures the way we're defending so far. It's absolutely embarrassing. So
unfortunately, we need the money. We need for the financial play. We need to get in.
But that's it. We only want Champions League because of the money, but it's not going to be an enjoyable watch. We'll have far more fun in the Europa League. But I feel like this season, especially with the amount of players that we need to bring in and the quality of players that we need to bring in, we need that additional money. So we have to find a way to get past Club Bruges, who have just scored again, by the way. It's 3-2. It's not going to be easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Russell Martin did say 2 weeks ago that in 4 weeks' time it'll be a completely different team. That tells me that after tonight's, after qualifying tonight and him saying that, there is still a few players to come in. How many do you think they'll bring in? Because I would say a minimum of 3 is required.
Well, I mean, looking at that, we've touched on it. Like, surely he watches that game. He's not a daft guy, and he goes to himself, if Simon Leslie, Gordon Bond, Jay Burnley, Lewis Miller, Ryan Nugent, and young Dylan, whatever, right? If they can see this, then I can see it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'd like to
I would like to think that, right? And I don't know. Surely he must look at Jeffrey and go, yeah, there might be a player in there at some stage in the future, but let's get him out on loan. Let's get him at a club in the English Championship or something, or where he's not under the spotlight so much, not under the pressure, and give him a season, give him a year to get experience, get some games, and hopefully back a better player. And then you've got a striker. Like, I don't know, I'm sick to the back teeth of talking about Danilo and Dessers up front. I've never rated them, and I still don't. And they do. Dessers I kind of like as a person, kind of like as a player because he tries and he's got a smile on his face, and he'll get some goals. So I wouldn't mind Dessers staying in the club because it's good to have a backup striker to come on and score some goals against you. Falkirks and Livingston's, etc. But I think we need a top. If we're going to actually make a challenge for the league title and not get slaughtered in Europe, then we need a left back, a striker, pronto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys, this studio is absolutely roasting tonight. It's like a sauna. I'll just leave it with your last few words on that, what you think.
yeah. But I think we need a left back, a left centre back, a right winger, and a striker. We need a striker with real quality. If we can get them four in, we get Mikey Moore in, we can get Telo Asgard playing, then I think there is still hope this season.
Yeah. The football's not going to change. The style's not changing, so we're going to have to get players that can play it. Gordy.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just saying. I mean, there's still. I mean, there is still hope for the season. I mean, we've drawn 2 games. You can afford to draw 4 or 5 games over the course of a season,
Yeah.
and you know, if we'd beat Dundee at home and we're in almost into the Champions League, you'd probably think to yourself, okay, a draw away at Motherwell, but a good start to the season. But there's no hiding place at Rangers, and because of the way we've drawn those 2 games, he can't get away with it. So yeah, but my worry is that just bringing in all these new players, like we're just going to have
Too
I
many.
mean, how many players are we going to have at the club? 40 players at the club. I don't know. It's like it's scary, and
Yeah.
at some point you have to look at financial fair play and say how much are we paying out in wages as well, because that will kill us over the course of the season. If we
Of
don't
course.
get the Champions League football, if we don't get the Champions League football, fair enough, you still get money for Europa. But if we're buying in even more players and we still get 30, 40 players on the books, we're going to start losing money fast.
Yeah. All right, guys. Listen, it's been a good night. We got the result. That's the main thing. The football's not the best, but hope you have a good night anyway, and hope all the travelling supporters have a ball over in Prague tonight. Good night, folks.
Okay, see you guys.
Good
Always
night.
remember, we are
The other
The people.
people.